Welcome to Sleepless Stories. Now, settle in comfortably and let the world outside your window fade into a gentle hush. Allow your breath to slow, your muscles to relax, and your thoughts to drift softly, like dust caught in a shaft of evening light. Tonight, I will guide you through the corridors of a house that remembers more than it forgets, a manor where every mirror holds a secret, and every reflection is a story waiting to be told. You are not alone here. The walls are thick with memory. The air is soft, faintly scented with lavender and old wood polish. You may hear the distant flutter of curtains, the gentle sigh of a draft, the quiet echo of your own footsteps on creaking floors. This is not a place of sharp terrors or sudden frights. Here, the unease is gentle, a whisper behind the glass, a flicker at the edge of your vision, a smile in the mirror that lingers a moment too long. It is a place where the uncanny is as comforting as a lullaby, and the darkness is deep, but never empty. So close your eyes, if you wish, or let them wander the dim-lit halls of the house where mirrors never lie. Let the story unfold, slow and soft. Like the dust you sweep from the corners, always familiar. You are the housekeeper. You have always been the housekeeper. Or perhaps you are only filling in for the night. It hardly matters. The house accepts you as it accepts all who tend to its quiet, endless needs. The evening begins, as it always does, with a gentle clink of keys on a brass ring, the soft swish of your apron as you move from room to room. The manor is old, but not unfriendly. Its bones creak, but not with malice, just with the weight of years and the memory of many footsteps before yours. You start in the west hallway, where the mirrors are smallest. Oval frames, gilded and curling with the shapes of leaves and vines, hang at eye level. You dust them carefully, your cloth gliding in slow circles over the glass. You avoid looking directly into them, not out of fear, but out of habit. It is easy, in this house, to lose yourself in a reflection. The air here smells of lavender polish and something older beeswax, perhaps, or the faintest trace of old perfume. You hear the wind outside, rattling the window panes, and the softer sound of curtains fluttering in a draft that always seems to come from nowhere. Your next task is polishing the mirrors in the grand parlor. These are taller, nearly the height of the room, their frames carved with roses and birds. You move slowly, your motions unhurried, letting the rhythm of your work settle your mind. The cloth glides over the glass, and for a moment, you catch a flicker in the corner of your eye, movement in the reflection that does not quite match your own. You pause. The room is empty, save for you and your reflection. But the air feels thick, as if someone has just left or is about to arrive. You continue your work, whispering to yourself, letting the repetition of your chores soothe away the unease. In the dining room, the mirrors are round, set above sideboards heavy with dust. You dust each one, careful not to disturb the delicate porcelain figures that sit beneath. As you polish, you notice a smile in the glass, a smile that is yours, but not quite. It lingers after you look away, fading only when you return your gaze. You sweep the hallway again, though you know the dust will return by morning. You check the locks on the doors and windows, feeling the cool brass beneath your fingers. The house is quiet, but not silent. It hums with the memory of voices, laughter, footsteps long gone. You pass the grand staircase, its banister polished to a soft sheen. At the landing, a large mirror waits, a mirror you never clean after dark. You move past it quickly, feeling its gaze on your back, though you know it is only glass and silver and shadow. In the bedrooms, the mirrors are hidden behind gauzy curtains. You pull them aside, one by one, dusting the frames, smoothing the fabric. Sometimes you hear a whisper, a word, just the suggestion of sound, like the sigh of someone dreaming. You finish your rounds in the small study at the end of the hall. Here, a single mirror sits on the desk, its surface cloudy with age. You polish it gently, watching your own face emerge from the mist. For a moment, you see something else, a flicker of another face, another time. But when you blink, it is gone. You sit in the old armchair, letting your body sink into the cushions. You listen to the house breathe, the creak of beams, the sigh of wind, the soft tick of a clock somewhere far away. You are tired, but not afraid. The house is strange, but it is also safe in its own way. You close your eyes, letting the rhythm of your chores and the gentle unease of the mirrors lull you toward sleep. The night deepens. The mirrors watch and wait and remember. But long before you began your quiet duties in the house, before the dust settled on the ornate frames and the lavender scent filled the air, there was another time. A time when the house was young and its owner was consumed by a singular obsession with beauty, with truth, and with the reflections that told stories no one else could see. Imagine a man named Elias, a craftsman of remarkable skill, a collector of rare mirrors from distant lands, and a seeker of perfection. He believed that mirrors did not merely show what was, but what could be, what was hidden beneath the surface, waiting patiently to be revealed. Elias built the manor with this belief at its heart. Rooms designed not just to live in, but to reflect, to capture light and shadow in ways that whispered secrets. He filled the house with mirrors of every shape and size. At a sea, one a portal, a keeper of memories. For years, Elias lived alone, tending to his collection and polishing his reflections. He was a quiet man with eyes that seemed to see beyond the glass, beyond the surface of things. Neighbors spoke softly of his strange habits, how he would stand for hours before a mirror, speaking to his own reflection as if it were a companion. Then, one night, everything changed. It was the night the largest mirror in the grand hall cracked. A mirror so vast it seemed to hold the entire room within its silvered depths. No one knows exactly what happened, only that the crack appeared suddenly, like a spiderweb of light, splitting the glass into fractured shards. Some say Elias was standing before it when the crack formed, that he reached out to touch the fracture and something stepped through. Others whisper that the mirror itself broke from the weight of his longing, unable to contain the truths he sought. From that night on, the house was different. The mirrors no longer reflected only what was in front of them. They began to show memories, fleeting images of moments long past. Faces that smiled and faded, shadows that moved just beyond the edge of sight. Elias disappeared soon after. Some say he stepped through the cracked mirror, becoming part of the reflections he so adored. Others believe he remains trapped between worlds, watching endlessly from the silvered glass. The housekeeper before you would have heard the stories whispered in the village, the gentle warnings, the tales of mirrors that remember and never forget. Its haunting is soft, like a sigh in the dark, a quiet invitation to look deeper, to see yourself reflected not just in glass, but in memory and time. And so the house waits, its mirrors alive with the echoes of Elias's dreams and the gentle promise that sometimes the truth is not what we see, but what we feel shimmering just beneath the surface. Now, imagine yourself seated at a heavy oak desk, tucked away in the dimmest corner of the manor's vast library. The air here is thick with a scent of aged paper, leather bindings, and a faint trace of lavender that seems to linger like a secret. Before you lies a collection of old documents, scattered diaries, brittle letters, and silver-edged pages that catch the candlelight with a strange, otherworldly gleam. You reach out to touch a parchment, and it crumbles softly beneath your fingertips, delicate as a moth's wing. The ink is unusual deep red, yet not faded by time. The words swirl across the page in a careful hand, a mixture of longing and regret woven into every line. It is the diary of a woman named Isolde, Elisa's sister, whose voice has been preserved in these fragile leaves. Isolde writes of the mirrors, of their quiet power, and of the night the great mirror cracked. She speaks of a locked room deep within the house, a chamber where the mirrors are covered with cloth, hidden from sight. She warns of the silver tongues that whisper truths too heavy for the waking mind. You find a letter addressed to the one who sees beyond, folded carefully and sealed with a delicate crest. Its message is cryptic, but tender, an invitation to look beyond fear, to embrace the reflections that show not just what is, but what has been and what might be. Among the papers, you discover a small silver key, cold and smooth in your palm. It fits perfectly into the lock of the hidden chamber door you once passed, but never dared to open. Inside, the mirrors stand silent, draped in heavy velvet. You pull back the cloth from one, and the glass shimmers, revealing not your own reflection, but a scene from long ago, a garden in bloom, a child laughing, a moment frozen in time. Each mirror tells a different story, a fragment of the house's memory. Some show joy, others sorrow. Some whisper secrets, others hold unanswered questions. Scholars and visitors have tried to unravel the mystery of these mirrors for generations. Are they windows into other worlds, warnings from the past, or wishes cast into silver and glass? No one knows for certain. The housekeeper before you once found a note tucked behind a mirror frame, written in a hand not her own. To see truly, you must look not with your eyes, but with your heart. The mystery remains soft and unresolved, like a dream slipping just beyond waking. And you, sitting here in the quiet glow of candlelight, feel the gentle pull of the unknown invitation to rest in the comfort of questions and the peace of not knowing. Now, imagine the house itself as a living memory, a gentle observer that has watched centuries unfold through its silvered glass. It breathes softly beneath your feet, its heart beating in the creak of floorboards and the whisper of curtains. The house remembers Elias, the man who sought truth in reflections, who vanished into the fractured mirror. It remembers Isolde, whose words still linger in the pages of forgotten diaries. It remembers every housekeeper who dusted the frames, every visitor who glimpsed a secret smile in the glass. From this quiet vantage, the mirrors are not mere objects, but keepers of stories, proud, sorrowful, hopeful. They hold the weight of beauty and regret, the shimmer of memories, both bright and dim. The house does not fear the unknown. It embraces it like a soft shadow folding over the edges of light. In its silence, there is acceptance, a peaceful resignation to the mysteries that will never fully unfold. And the comfort found in that very uncertainty. You feel the house's gaze, not as a weight, but as a gentle presence, a quiet companion in the stillness of night. And now, as the candle dims and the last flicker of light fades from the glass, you may finally rest. The mirrors will keep their secrets, and the house will keep its watch. You are safe here, cradled in the soft embrace of reflection and memory. So close your eyes if you wish. Let the gentle unease dissolve into dreams. And know that in the house where mirrors never lie, the truth is not always what you sit, it's what you feel, quietly beneath the surface. Thank you for wandering these quiet halls with me tonight. May your sleep be deep and your dreams gentle, wrapped in the soft glow of silvered glass and whispered stories. When you awaken, carry with you the calm of the house, the comfort of the unknown, and the peace that comes from embracing the shadows that live just beyond the light. Good night and rest well.